This is for writing an equation given the slope and a point. So far we have looked at some really important different equations that we've been using in this unit, so I'm going to write those down first. We know that slope, intercept, okay, form or equation is y equals mx plus b, and this is usually if we're given the slope and y-intercept. Okay. Sometimes we have to know how to find the slope, so we've talked about different ways to find our slope. We know that it's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and we also know it's the change in y or the change in x, or rise over run. The next important equation that we're going to be talking about today is called slope point equation, or slope point slope, I think is usually how it's more written, so I'll put it that way. Slope and this comes from actually our slope equation, but it's y equals y sub 1 plus whatever our slope is times x minus x sub 1. And what you can do is you can usually change this into slope intercept. Okay, so let's look at the first problem together. Number 1, we know that it goes through -4, 2, and we know that the slope is equal to 1/4. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to recommend is that you label everything. We know that -4 is going to be x1, 2 is going to be y2, and then this is going to equal my slope. Okay, so then just write your equation and change it into slope intercept form. So I'm going to write y equals y sub 1. Oops, sorry, this should have been y sub 1. So y sub 1 is 2, plus my slope, which is 1/4, times x minus x1, which is -4. Now x minus x1 is just going to change to +4 because minus a negative is a positive. I need to change this into slope intercept form, so I'm going to distribute and combine like terms. Y equals 2. 1/4 times x is just going to be 1/4 x. And then 1/4 times 4, remember it's like 4 over 1, multiplying fractions. 4 over 4 is just 1. So our answer is going to end up being y equals, you can combine together like terms, 2 and 1. So 3 plus 1/4 x. Okay, let's look at the next problem together. Try number 2. It tells us that it is through -3, -1, has a slope of 5 over 3. Okay, so let's label everything first. x1, y1, and this is my slope, and then go ahead and write your equation. So it's going to be y equals y1, so -1, plus my slope of 5/3 times x minus x1, so put that -3, minus a negative is the same thing as adding. Distribute and combine like terms. 5/3 times x is still 5/3 x. And then 5/3 times 3, be careful, 3 times 5 is 15. And then 1 times 3 is 3. Now, we know that 15 over 3 is going to simplify to just 5. combine like terms. So y is going to equal 4 plus 5/3 x. That is all that you're doing. Just be careful as you work through it. You should be okay. The only problem I see you running into difficulty might be number 6. Number 6 says that it is through -3, 4, and your slope is undefined. Now remember, if your slope is undefined, that means it is a vertical line, so it's just going to be x equals something, and your value for x is 3, so it's just going to be x equals -3. This is kind of a little bit of a special case. All right, if you have any questions, let me know.